Welcome back to Hiring America and our conversation with Tony Klimas and Monte Babbington of EY.
It's interesting for me, the Ernst Young culture reflects the way that the world actually is. It's a rich culture here, there's diversity, and it celebrates that diversity.
Most of the organizations I've been in, for a security consultant, it's kind of step by step. You have your first step, you have a promotion, you have one path. Here at Ernst Young, the field is wide open.
So if someone is interested in a job at EY, what would you advise them to do?
So what I'd advise them to do is visit our website, www.ey.com/US, because we started in the US, /veterans, and that'll give you a sense for, you can look around the larger site, but the veterans page really is targeted at veterans looking to make a transition to EY, and it talks about a lot of the things that we do for veterans, what it's like to be a veteran coming to the firm.
Because we're so focused on veterans, we sort of have our own recruiting channel for them, so they have a little bit of an advantage in that they don't have to be there with all the other people who are applying, although eventually they have to sort of meet the very high standards that we have. The other thing that exists on that web page is that they can actually send an inquiry in, fill out some information, and I actually see all of those emails as the leader of our veterans group, and kind of keep tabs on them to make sure that our recruiting organization is responding appropriately.
And it's a pretty unique veterans group in corporate America. What is that experience like?
We started with around 40 people. We're over 500 today in over 50 cities. And our group has been really involved in a couple different things. First and foremost, we help with onboarding in our hiring process, right? So new veterans that come in have a peer advisor. So they have a lot of support from EY in general, any new hire does. But we add on an extra layer from our veterans group where we actually help them in making the transition with another veteran serving as a peer advisor. The second thing our veterans group does is really focused in on our community. So we are involved in a lot of different nonprofits, a lot of different organizations. We're doing work with the Jericho Project, which is a group focused on homeless veterans. We're doing financial literacy training for at-risk veterans. We're doing these career skills workshops with J&J and Citi and a couple other companies that we work with. And so the community involvement piece is very important. And then the final piece is really staying connected in with other veterans groups. We're part of something called the 100,000 Jobs Coalition, which is something that was founded at JP Morgan. We were one of the first participants in that, the first professional services firm, which we're very proud of. And so that group has now grown to over 100 companies. And we actually just recently passed the 100,000 jobs mark as far as the number of veterans hired by these companies. So now the big debate is whether we need to change the name to maybe the 300,000 Job Coalition.
And it's tremendously helpful for someone who just transitioned in the last, I was one of those 40, but had just joined the firm. But in the first week I was with the firm, I was out at a happy hour with a bunch of other veterans. And as someone who's coming out of an environment that I'm not sure the people I work with are going to understand, and I'm going into an environment that I'm not sure I understand, here I am out with 35 other people who have similar experiences that are letting me know I'm going to get through this, and to be able to continually give that back is incredibly valuable. And then a week later, we're out at the New York Marathon helping wounded veterans who are running the marathon, and I'm there. It's a great day. We're in Central Park, surrounded by guys similar experiences to me. We're all in this firm together, and it really makes that transition really easy for new hires.
And you have openings all over geographically.
Oh, sure. We have offices around the globe. So there's plenty of opportunity for all sorts of things. And as Tony mentioned, we're in all kinds of businesses. I work in the sort of finance space. Tony works sort of globally in all sorts of different industries.
Do you have any message for other corporate leaders in terms of why veterans make such great hires?
Well, I think veterans make great hires, and not just that I think this, we actually see this in the data from tracking their performance, is because the military is a leadership laboratory, right? And everyone in the military, even the most junior enlisted man or woman, is leading something at some point in their career. So I think you find ready-made leaders for people in the military. But the other thing that you get, and people don't really understand this necessarily, is you also have ready-made followers, right? So people in the military are very used to being part of a team. They're used to working with other people on the team. They're used to having some objective for the team. And so any business that's involved in anything that requires a team is going to do well when they hire a military veteran.
I think one of the things that the guy who hired me said when I was going through the interview process and sort of trying to feel out exactly how it fit was, he said, this is sort of a pilot program, and we found it's much harder to teach leadership to people who are experts in, say, finance than it is to teach, say, finance to somebody who's already got that leadership experience. And I think we've seen that time and again at our firm, and as Tony mentioned, they're just tremendous assets to any type of organization.
Okay, important information for those in the military as well as corporate leaders. Thanks so much for joining us from EY.
Oh, great. Thanks for letting us come here.
Thanks for having us.
Great.